Hello Gemini, it's Loreen from Insight Readings with your insights for the month of 20. Thank you so much for the support of my channel. Your support comes via the thumbs up. That really supports it, and it's also a sense of gratitude if you've got something out of this. And it inspires me to carry on as well, so I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. And then also to say that I apologize for not putting out normal YouTube videos for the last 2 months while we were in this lockdown. We all have had our difficulties and our cross to bear, as it were. And yes, it factored in a big way in everyone's lives. But I'm back again. All is done. I'm pleased to be back here and to share with you and to share the message that I have. This is spirit-led, so time is not of a factor or an essence here, and I'm going to go with the flow and see where spirit guides us with this. So I also want to just say I'm looking up the camera. I'm so tired of adjusting this thing, so I'm leaving it there. We'll turn it down on the cards again, and thank you for being here. So today I want to start off, Gemini, with the eclipses that are changing signs towards the end of it, because we have the new eclipse cycle that starts. So the eclipses are about the nodes of the new moon, the north and south node, Rahu and Ketu, these change every month or so. So whenever there's an eclipse in an area of life or topic, those energies last for approximately months. And we've had real whammies for the last 10 months, and even further still because of Saturn and Pluto, which are slow-moving planets, all in this house of Capricorn. Really strong Capricorn energy, almost like an overdose of Capricorn energy with the planets that are there, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter. Those are big planets. And then we've had Venus that has gone through there, the Sun, Mercury. It's just been really a lot of change that has been universal. In the South Node of the Moon. Now the South Node is about past karma and how we sort of go to that South Node because it's comfortable. We're familiar with it. It's easier for us because that's how we've always done things. And yet it's the node that we need to release and let go of and put our focus on the North Node. The North Node of the Moon is where things are not familiar to us, and it's not easy to do that. And with all these planets on this other side, it's almost like weighing us down. The planets are sitting in the South Node. So there's almost like a push of the universe to finally clear up past karmic paths, as it were, to that area of our life. And for you, Gemini, it is your South Node, Capricorn, is in your 8th house, and the 8th house is topics of something that is really deep, intense, maybe childhood traumas. It's about intense, deep relationships as well. It is a house of sexual connection as well. The 8th house deals with tragic events as well, about fears, intensity as well. But it's very subconscious and deep. And you have Capricorn over this house. So Capricorn, the energy that Capricorn brings to it is that it's very steadfast for you, Gemini. Capricorn is the sea goat. So the sea goat is a mythical creature. So for the 8th house, I mean, a occult house as well. So yeah, you have this mythical creature, half as a fish and the other half a goat, climbing up this mountain, because the goat climbs up this mountain to get his achievements, to achieve regardless of anything that is happening around him. So it's almost like you're sucking up this pain, you're putting your pain on the back burner, you're not focused on that. With the energy of Capricorn, the focus is on reaching the top. The focus is on your duty, on your responsibilities, and being very steadfast in that, regardless of whatever's going around. You want to reach the top. And our eclipses are between Capricorn and Cancer, so it's earth and water. So there's this mud that you're climbing through to get to the top, to keep this. So deep secrets that are so deep, because 8th house is secrets. They're so intensely there, and you hold them so steadfast to you. But you need to work through that now and release it to bring healing, because we have Jupiter there as well, to bring this healing for you in this area of your life. 8th house also deals with things like taxes and other people's money. So maybe having to deal with your spouse's money or money from other people. That's a possibility as well, and working with that. The way to navigate through this is to focus on your North Node, which is lying in the 2nd house. And the 2nd house is the topic of security, covered by the sign of Cancer. Now, the sign of Cancer is a crab. And what is the crab? The crab is a creature that takes care of itself, or it protects itself with that crusty shell, because it's so soft in the inside. So it's looking for that security. And when you look at the crab, when it protects itself, it sort of steps back and then it skirts around to the side and then jumps into its little hole or burrow in the sand. And that's what the universe is saying. You need to go inwards in yourself and protect and nurture yourself. Cancer is a sign of nurturing, looking after yourself and your security of yourself. And we have these two opposing forces, because the 2nd house and the 8th house is security on the inside, security on the outside, security within yourself, within your earned income, and other people's income. This 8th house is income from other people. So you have this push and pull continually, and you're looking for security in your 2nd house of earned income, and how you gain your security, how you earn your security, how you bring stability in that, in a very protective, nurturing way. And because we're at the end of this eclipse cycle, and it's going to go across into the next signs, the intensity is so much more. It's always as a planet is going to go over a sign barrier, or the nodal points of the moon are crossing over, that the intensity is felt. Normally like 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. It seems to be quite intense, and that is why we're feeling this. And worldwide we are feeling it with the pandemic that we are having as well. It is pretty extreme for everyone, where one side is weighted so much more, and it's the side that we need to let go of, and to focus on the side of the North Node. So with that said, I'm going to go into some cards that I made. I'm going to be looking at you and just randomly pick a card here and see what Spirit has to say with regards to where your focus should be to get through this. And we have perspective. Changing your perspective on how you see things and how you feel things. We have the cat on there. The cat is about using your instincts. And that 8th house is you have the instinct. Deep instinct and knowledge to know where to put your perspective and to go with it. Follow the stars on this card, and on the top we have the roses, the love of yourself and your own security, to change your perspective in that. So how beautiful is that? So I'm going to turn this camera down so we get the cards and you can see the cards better. I just want to remove these. Just be patient, please. Let me pause this. Hi, Gemini. So here we go. We have the cards by Louise Hay. Let me put glasses on. And it's I Can Do It. So what can you do, Gemini, through this to navigate through the difficulties that you have in this area of your life? And let's see how Spirit works with this energy. Thank you, Spirit. I'd like to invite Spirit guides Source, higher self and God, please to be present to give me clarity, wisdom, understanding, to bring the messages for Gemini with absolute integrity. Thank you for your discernment. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so this is always for Gemini rising, sun or moon, but the rising, this would, there we go, would be for more. And it says, I am safe when I express feelings. I can be serene in any situation. And isn't that what your 8th house is about? That deep, deep, emotional, secret side of you. And yeah, Spirit is just saying that to you. I am safe when I express feelings. I can be serene in any situation. We have this white rose here. Serenity, surrender. And the other side says, I have a wonderful relationship with friends, family members, and co-workers. I am appreciated. And Gemini, that you want. That's what you want with that Capricorn energy. Other people, you're steadfast, you're reliable, you're responsible, and resilient. And the 2nd house is Cancer, that healing, that security you bring. And for me, the 2nd house, I always think of Taurus, even though with your rising it moves, but there's some sense of traditional value that goes with it as well, and what you feel is important for you. So I'm going to do an oracle card just to add to that and open up with that. And thank you, Spirit, for this. And what is the message for Gemini through this month of May? Thank you. There we go. And it is Holly. It's come out the right way round. Holly, be a spiritual warrior, the 8th house. Deep, that occult knowledge you have, Gemini, and you're steadfast in it, but you've pushed it down. You've hardened yourself with that Capricorn energy and all the planets that are in there, possibly. Holly is a little shrub bush that grows in the winter months. We see the snow. So yes, in the southern hemisphere we are going into the winter months, and in the northern hemisphere they are going to the summer months. So here's the winter months, and yet this little tree with its thorny hardness has berries on it and bearing fruit. Steadfast, be a spiritual warrior. It's come out the right way around, and it's such a pretty little card. I hope you can see it there. I'm going to read. It's the Christmas cheer. It just, regardless of what is happening outside, there's that grounded red action of Mars. It makes me think of Mars bringing the action regardless of what is cold and dark outside. 101. And Holly, be a spiritual warrior. It says, although technically a bush, the holly has all of the power of a tree and more. Holly has always been considered a sacred evergreen, bringing strong protection and magic into one's life. Now is the time to become assertive. Do what you know is right. Be a true spiritual warrior. Stand up, protect and defend. Be clear about your endeavors and then assert them. Do not let others take advantage of you. You have the strength and power to do what is necessary now. Be active. Assert your rights and responsibilities. You have the strength of will to do so quite effectively. How beautiful is that? Thank you, Spirit. I cannot add to that. It is just so inspiring. And with that, I'm going to go into the tarot, and we'll do 3 cards, past, present, future, or you can look at it as the beginning part of it, the sort of middle part of it, and towards the end of it, and see how that fits in and resonates for you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, clarity, and guidance. Thank you. And there we have security. Security and family security, that 2nd house. It's all about security and putting something practical there, because we have pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. So here we go. With Gemini, we started with the 10 of Pentacles. Now, 10 is always about a culmination, reaching the highest point, but then it's the completion of that point, and the 1 is the new beginning. And Pentacles is about something that is earthy, that is grounding, that is tangible. That second house is something tangible, material, Pentacles, working towards that. And yeah, we see the family. We see having enough security and material benefit to take care of yourself, your family, and leaving a lineage. Because 10 of Pentacles is about a lineage, a inheritance, being able to stay strong in a material grounded sense here, and being able to take care of everyone in the family in an abundant way, regardless of what is going on. And that is in the past or the beginning part of the month. So definitely having that groundedness, but it was the culmination of it and the ending of it as a new cycle opens and begins. And yes, this would definitely read into the situation now of everybody being locked up and not being able to earn an income. You've had enough to take care, but there's this sense of that there's this completion of the cycle. And then we move on to the middle part of the month, or the current situation is the 3 of Pentacles. We see he's working at it here. He's working at a skill, trying to negotiate, collaborate with others, teaching them, because the second house is also about teaching and that security of getting something material, working towards it, using your instinct. We have the cat here. Cats are about your instincts, to move ahead and trying to chisel out something in your future that it is to do with material value, your finances, trying to work on finances and building something together and collaborating with others to get this going, to expand it, because the 3 is about expansion, the 2 become 3, but there's always this delay as you're working on it. You still have much to do, but putting it into practice. And then we move on to the 7 of Swords. Now the 7 of Swords is traditionally the thief card, and yeah, we see this really wise person sitting here, old man, thinking, holding his head and thinking about ways to pen down the messages he's receiving. How does he move ahead with this? Using his analytical mind. And Gemini, you are the Swords energy. How do you use your mind in an alternate decision, in an alternate way? Because the 7 is about making a decision, something that isn't expected, something that's completely different. How do you do it? You're thinking about it. How do I do this? How do I pen it down? How do I bring this into, how do I communicate this with that feather? How do I put this across? Because something has been stolen from you, and yes, it seems to be your security, but then you need to pen this, and you need to bring something different into your life. So maybe the way you made money, the way you had security, there's this big change, but you're working on something that has been taken and thinking very deeply. We see him with this red cloak on you, so you're very grounded in this, and you have wisdom, deep wisdom in this. This person is old in how you're thinking to bring this about and to put this into something practical, to pen it, to put it down by using your mind, by getting your clarity. Even though it's difficult, because Swords is difficult energy, it's always about a conflict somewhere. And Swords cut, it's difficult energy to navigate through. So, but it's clarity as well, regardless of what you need to cut out to move ahead with this. These swords are on a table in this deck. So you're laying them down and thinking about which way to go. So I'm going to just put another card each for a little more clarity with this. Thank you, Spirit. There's your 3 of Pentacles once again. And for the 3 of Pentacles, Thank you, Spirit. Clarity for the Three of Pentacles for Gemini. Thank you, Spirit. There we go. And the Seven of Swords. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And then you have two major arcana cards. There's something here significant for you, Gemini. So we have the Three of Pentacles once again. Yeah, you had it there. Confirmation. How do you take care of your family? How do you have enough resources to take care of your family? And we have by negotiation, collaboration, working with others, doing something practical, learning a new skill. We have flowers here, something new, she's sort of painting these on a window, you know, putting something solid there and being animated about it. It is the energy of putting something practical into place with regards to your security. But on the second house of physical security, that second house of how you earn your income, working towards that, leaving behind the 8th house. And the middle of the month, or what you're working on here, chiseling out. You just see how different the symbologies are on the cards. They're actively working, but in different areas. Where this card is chiseling out and working at it, this card is using your skills to paint. It's a lot easier using a creative force. It's both creative, but yeah, he's chiseling stone. Yeah, she is painting something on stained glass. A lot easier using your mind, your creative juices. And yeah, you're using your labor and your creative juices. The Hermit, 9. Something that is coming to an end of a cycle as well, with the 9 there, of this hard work, chiseling out something. So it's a closure of a cycle coming about. It hasn't closed yet. It's not the 10. The Hermit is a major arcana card. And the Hermit is about somebody that is seeking advice. And he does it alone because it's 9. And he's out on a ledge. So there's a thing of caution here. You need to be cautious because he could fall off that ledge. But he's got his trusty staff with him. The staff is that energy of that runs down your back, down your spine, that carries you. So he has that energy to carry him. And the lantern is about seeking, looking out, looking for where you need to go. It's a card of guidance, being guided, getting guidance of where you need to go, but being cautious as well of where you are going. So there's a essence here of being cautious, yes, to guide yourself and follow the light, because there's this rockiness of there's darkness around this card, and the only way to get through this is to follow that light and to seek answers, and to get answers in a very material, grounded, earthy way, because it is the card of Virgo, which is a very earthy, grounded sign as well. There's a earthiness to this. There's a practicality to this. This old man isn't old and weak. He's old and wise in his discernment of where he's going, and very cautious as well, but following that light as where he's putting his labors and chiseling out a future, or a central part in his life. And then we come to the last part, and that is the World card, another major arcana card. It's called 1. 2 is about choices. 1 is that you do individually, making them individually. And the 1 is a 3, again, moving forward with delays. But the World is about success. Success after something that has been extremely challenging. Success after something that has been so challenging. But you get through this portal. You have this victory laurel as you step through, and feeling on top of the world as you get through all of this that has been so difficult. It promises challenges that come through victoriously, even though you felt very vulnerable while going through it. You're at the end of that cycle now. As we close this portal and move into the next nodal entry points. So yes, it has been extremely difficult. And when we see the world card, we see these 4 fixed signs here. So something that has been really fixed, but now the closure and this newness as you go through of something alternate, something that's been taken away from you, and now you've found and penned something new in your life. Never mind how difficult it has been, there's some newness that comes through with this. So I'm going to close this reading off with another oracle card. This is numerology, and see where Spirit takes us with this. What is the guidance here for Gemini through this end of a cycle of 18 months and longer, with the planets that have been in your 8th house, and where the focus needs to go for Gemini? What is the revisit? What is the focus here with perspective? And Gemini, the card here is about forgiveness. 9 is about the end of a cycle. Cycles are coming to an end. 6 about getting the balance with regards to those cycles. When we add them up together, we get 18. Now, it is actually 6 at the end of the day. So you need to close a cycle and get balance with regards to forgiveness. So the 8th house is about secrets, and maybe there's some traumas or tragedies there that you cannot let go of because of that Capricorn energy. But there's a sense of the South Node having to have forgiveness for yourself and for others, and to let go, to surrender, and to move past it in a very blue, honest way, seeing the truth in it, but also in a very esoteric way or intuitive way with the purple. So let's see how that resonates with your reading, Gemini. And forgiveness. This card indicates a need to forgive yourself and others for any past actions that have caused you pain. And isn't that right? You know, Spirit is so on the mark. The South Node is in that 8th house, the past, the deep psychological traumatic events and fears that you hold from childhood and past lives. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to heal any unresolved anger, hate, jealousy, resentment, or guilt that is blocking your success. Such emotions are toxic to your body and hold you back from attracting a harmonious life. For the sake of your health and future happiness, you must forgive the past. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean blessing, forgetting, or condoning the unsavory behavior of others. Remember, the 8th house is others. It means releasing yourself from a self-created prison so you can move forward with your life. When you come to accept and move on from real or perceived betrayals, you create a happier future built on freedom and inner peace. Bitterness only attracts disharmony, misery, and pain. Thus, forgiveness is the best way to set your spirit free. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to forgive people, situations, and behaviors from the past. By reliving past misfortune, you can run the risk of attracting more of the same. But when you forgive, let go, and move on, you can make your dreams come true. You improve your prospects for the future when you practice acceptance and forgiveness. So the affirmation is, I create a happier future as I accept and forgive the past. So Spirit has just given you the remedy of how you get through this, and what is holding you back and what is making things difficult as you go through it. It is about forgiveness of self and others. It doesn't mean condoning it. It means letting go for yourself. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much once again for your support and for that little thumbs up. It is just gratitude from you and common courtesy, and I get so much appreciation because it helps the channel. Thank you so much for that, Gemini. Look after yourself, and hope to see you next month and give you messages again from Spirit as we go through to the next cycle. Thank you, Gemini.